I already know this is going to be a short video. So, death still makes me sad. Even though I'm a medium, death still makes me sad. And I will go as far as to say it's not that I really, really believe that consciousness continues after we pass. I know for a fact consciousness continues after we pass. But dying still makes me sad. So why? I I'll say I have seen some famous mediums who will say that you can't connect with your own loved ones. And I do connect with my parents and grandparents and some friends who have passed semi regularly, really. But I will say I would not be comfortable passing on messages from one of them to, say, my brother who is still living, for example. But I definitely feel connected to my own loved ones who have passed, especially when I'm doing something that's mundane, like driving, or where my mind will wander, or if I'm cooking, where my mind will wander. I feel a combination of parents and grandparents, for sure. But even though I've gotten dozens of readings from other mediums where they've connected with my loved ones, and even though I regularly connect with other people's loved ones, it is not, and even just being aware of them with me, like when I'm in the car, it is not the same as crushing someone in your arms, as physically hearing their voice. It's just not the same. So that's why, like, being aware of what relative I have and having images flash through my mind that let me know really clearly who they are, it's not the same thing. So for me, the poignancy around death is not that the relationship is over, it's that it is now changed forever, or changed until we're reunited again. So changed from now on. That's how I feel when a loved one dies, that our relationship is now changed. And the closest parallel I can think of, the closest analogy would be like a century ago when your loved ones would move away and you knew you were never going to see them again, but you could trade letters. You'd send them messages through a third party, you'd get messages through a third party in the form of letters, but you knew you were never going to see them again, hear them again, physically touch and feel them again. So it's that lack of physical interaction that saddens me. I assume in the same way that people a century ago were saddened by parting loved ones who they knew still existed. So yes, death makes me sad. No, that does not in any way invalidate mediumship, or invalidate the idea that we pass. It's not like I really don't believe. I do believe. I'm certain that consciousness continues after we pass. So I was really troubled. I've had my two most recent clients, independent of each other, both were begging me to give messages to people in spirit. Please tell them I feel whatever. And I thought, ooh, I can't even imagine feeling so disconnected that I would think I'd need a third party. So I was really clear with them. And if you're not a medium and you're watching this, I want to be really clear with you. You do not need a third party, a medium, or anyone to give your people in spirit messages. They know how you're feeling. They know it's not that they hear us, but they're aware of what they're saying. It's not that they see us, but they're aware of what's going on in our lives. They are completely 100% aware, especially when we deliberately talk to them or deliberately are thinking about them. They get those messages. They know how you feel for sure. So super short video. Next week, I'm going to talk about how mediumship is about interpreting, not translating. And that's where, and skeptics love this because that's where the mistakes, or where you get it wrong, is. And it's really about conveying the correct idea rather than the specific something. So, for example, if someone's interpreting from one language, from English into another language, and I say I'm married, the interpreter might say he says he has a wife. And that's the correct idea, that I'm married, but the fact is I have a husband. So that's where things go wrong, or where people screw up in their mediumship, because we're interpreting, we're not translating. That's next week's video. Until then, thank you for watching this one. Leave your questions or comments below, and I will see you next time.